Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Midweek Magic video where we'll be playing Alchemy All-Access. Basically, you bring a deck for Alchemy, which is a standard format that also includes some digital exclusive cards, and we just play. You do not need to have the cards, just put together a deck list and fire away. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to be playing with a hot deck right now called Naya Runes. It just won an event, I think, recently, and people have been talking about it. It uses a lot of the new cards from Kamigawa, a lot of enchantment stuff, so and also utilizes the runes from Kaldheim from last year, which is interesting. Don't know much about the deck otherwise. Seems, I think, straightforward. It seems to generate quite a decent bit of value too. It does seem very vulnerable to removal, but so is most creature-based decks. But especially a deck that relies on auras, it is a little skeptical. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if this is an ideal hand here. It doesn't look like the ideal hand, but I think we're gonna run it. We don't have a 1-drop, but we do have all of these 2-drops. Okay, we do get to go first, so I think we're just gonna run it. I think we play Branchloft Path, which what's nice too is that we don't have to worry about the lands because the mana base is oftentimes the concern about playing these events. And I oftentimes play with like monocolored decks just because the mana base is a lot friendlier. I decided to run with this kind of deck because I don't have a lot of these cards, and I figure I run a deck that's different from what I usually play. I usually play like a monoblack sacrifice deck, so I wanted to play something very different, which is Naya enchantments. Okay, we're gonna play this for its white side, I think. Right. Play for its white side. We'll play Kami of Transience, pass. We don't want to play Showdown of Scalds until a little later. Oh! Looks like they're on this as well. Okay. Whenever cast enchantments, we'll put a +1/+1 counter on him. Beginning of each end step, if enchantments put in the graveyard this turn, you can put it back in your hand. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Beseiju says we can pop an artifact, enchantment, or non-basic land on opponent controls. Okay. Okay, this is a little awkward, but we're gonna swing. And I think we just continue advancing our board state here. So we are going to... I wish we had a follow-up play, but we do not. We're going to play Kami of Transience next. This way, when we play Jukai Naturalist next turn, we're going to get some decent value off of that. Okay, just the Runeforge Champion. If they decide to attack with Jukai Naturalist, I actually think I would attack. Oh, you can pay 1 rather than mana cost for rune spells you cast? Oh, jeez. No wonder this deck is so good. I thought this just reduces by 1 generic. Holy crap. That is so good. Wow. Holy crap. The Runeforge Champion is the card that brings it all together. It's nice that we see the mirrors, so we get to see what the deck looks like on both ends. Holy crap. That is incredible. Right. So these guys get a +1/+1 counter. Okay. So we're gonna play this. We're gonna play the Rune of Speed. We are going to slap it onto Jukai Naturalist. Okay. Not exactly what we wanted to see there. Okay. I feel like we're gonna be losing the damage race if we just keep it smashing, but we're gonna do this. I think we are in the we're definitely in a losing position. I could have played some defense as well. Maybe I should have done that. We're still figuring out the deck here. There is one clean answer to all of this, which is Realm of Light. It can just pop the Runeforge Champion. And it doesn't even trigger the Alchemy of Transience too. Well, actually, no. It would trigger the enchantment if the enchantment was put in their graveyard from the battlefield. Oh! Do they have a land? They do. So I think our Jukai Naturalist was gone for this from this world anyway. Yeah. Okay, we do have Procedure who endures. Okay, so we'll play the Runeforge Champion. Search my library. Yeah, we're gonna get Rune of Sustenance. The unfortunate thing is that we really can't play it. Really want the mana up for to deal with the Runeforge Champion here. I'm not gonna attack. We're gonna play some defense. Oh, this is actually really awkward. Oof. Yeah, I should have attacked. Oh, I'm definitely messing up a lot. Okay. Play this land, we'll pass. We are so not playing optimally here. There's only one way to deal with this in this deck, from what I can tell. If they're playing the exact same deck list, it's Touch the Spirit Realm, and there's only 2 copies in the deck. Now, they have Community with Spirits, so there's 4 copies of that, so they can dig deeper. Ooh, Jukai Naturalist, oh lord. Yeah, we're just not chaining into, like, the runes like they did. Like, I can see why this is so good. Like, if you just keep chaining runes, you can just explode out of nowhere. Runeforge Champion really takes over. Yeah, I did not realize how Jukai Naturalist into Runeforge Champion could result into an explosive turn. Cantrip, cantrip, cantrip. And they're out of gas. Okay. Okay, so they have no more runes. So that tells us they have no more runes. They don't have Touch the Spirit Realm, or else they probably would have popped the Alchemy of Transience. Probably don't have Commune of Spirits either. Showdown Skulls, I don't want to play that yet until I really don't have anything else to work with here. Um. I'm gonna see what my opponent does if I swing 5. Gain some life back. Nice. Okay, so we have these 2 lands we can play, so we're gonna be patient. Ooh, Showdown Scald is pretty good. We might need to pop that instead. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. Well, the good thing is that... Oh man, they can play another one too. That's disgusting. Okay, so they have a... They probably just drew a rune. Okay. I probably should have popped the Jukai Naturalist. You can see the lands in action here. Well, that guy up. You get to search your land, or search your deck for a basic land. This guy. We'll search our library. Make sure we're looking at the right stuff. Yeah, we'll search our library. Which rune do we want, is the question. Let's go get this one, I guess. And then we'll use this to play this land. I'm gonna slap this. Okay. Make him a little bigger. Yeah. Uh-oh. Jukai Naturalist into Runeforge. We have the life advantage here at the moment, but they have the card advantage. Play this guy. Lair of the Hydra. Weird card. Neat. All of this is free. Yes! We got it! Oh! Yeah, because that's just 3 free spells. That's gonna be at least a plus 14 pump. That's even disregarding Showdown of the Scalds too. And then we get 3 draws at least off of that. Like, we're digging like 7 cards deep at least if we decide to play Showdown of the Scalds. And that's not even, we haven't even played a land for turn yet too, so we could potentially go even a little bit more deeper. Wow. I definitely did not make the most optimal plays early on because I did not realize how powerful Runeforge Champion is, or rather how the deck revolves around this guy here. But wow, this was a incredible, holy crap. So clearly the most optimal, I guess, curve would be like turn 1, I guess that 1/1 that puts an extra counter whenever you cast an enchantment spell. Turn 2, Jukai Naturalist. And then turn 3, play the rune guy. You get to a guaranteed rune. You slap it for free onto, I guess, anyone you want, really. And you go to town and just try to slap as many runes as you can. If left unchecked, that goes absolutely crazy. This can crumble to control, but if a control that cannot deal with the rune guy right away, or the Jukai Naturalist, they are in a world of trouble. Wow, that was pretty awesome. Wow, okay, now we know the power of this deck. And Showdown of the Skulls is a really good card when you have both Naturalist and the Rune guy. Really, it was the Kamigawa lands that saved us in that first game, and once again they're here because it got rid of a threat. Well, not only got rid of a threat and preserved our life total, it also stopped them from gaining so much life back. Popping the Besieger was, or using Besieger to pop their Naturals is important to slow them down as well. This is an okay hand. If we can find. Okay, so we want to play Lair of the Hydra first, for sure. We'll play Generous Visitor. So this is that curve. Turn 1, Generous Visitor. Turn 2, Jukai Naturalist. Turn 3, hopefully we get the Rune guy. Otherwise, we'll see what happens from there. I really don't. I try not to use the, or try not to play the Kamigawa lands until I absolutely need him. So they're casting green. Okay. Oh wow, so it looks like they're also on the deck as well. Alright, so we are going to... I don't want to get rid of a removal spell. This one is very handy. If I do get Showdown of the Scalds though, that would be pretty bad. I will try to take the risk, but Showdown of the Scalds is not a card I would play until much later in the game. Jukai Naturalist. Put a counter. We'll swing. Yeah, going first is important here. We do have the tempo advantage. And the lifelink absolutely matters, as we saw in the last game. Going for big life swings. It's a pretty neat deck. And these are uncommon, so they're not... I guess these are not too hard to craft. I guess it's a relatively budget deck. If you... Alright, so... They're gonna draw a card. Okay, so... Ooh, it's 3/3. Oh, wow. Yeah, we're not blocking that. If you weren't the starting player, this guy comes and play tap. Not ideal, but... Okay. Alright, the question is if I want to play Commune of the Spirits, or if I want to play with this guy. I might want to... I think I'm going to go with the guaranteed effect where I dig deeper. I'm going to slap a counter on here. Get an extra life there. Ooh, Kamiya Transience is very nice. Kind of awkward we just drew this card, but that's okay. Forsaken Crosses. Okay, I don't want to play Besiege now, but I think I need to. So first, we're going to do the obvious things. Swing. Alright, as long as you don't have lifelink, we have the advantage here. Besiege is so good, actually. Being 2 mana to blow up an artifact enchantment or nut basic is so good across a lot of different formats. We'll keep the pressure going. Yeah, we are the aggressor right now. Our opponent is the one who needs to respond. Realm of Light can slow down the bleeding for them if they hit Jukai Naturalist. Otherwise, the damage, you want to try to get our creatures to like 5 toughness or greater in the mirror match, it seems like, because the only other way to answer this would be Iganjo. I think this guy is like a 1-of. Kind of funny we keep seeing the 1-of Kamigawa lands. There might be 2 copies. I need to check the deck again. Okay, so they got Touch the Spirit Realm. Alright. Question is if they will play defense. They will not play defense. Alright, in that case, we will continue to play offense. We'll try to find an enchantment that can get things going. Ooh, Showdown of the Scalds is a good one. That's good long-term value. The problem is, we not only can play it this turn, we're not really going to get much going next turn either with it. So I think I just need to bank on Rune of Might and hope that we draw some stuff. Because these guys are going to get big pretty fast. Like, we just need to keep the pressure on them. And I think that's what we want to do. We'll keep the pressure on them. We're going to slap this onto, it doesn't really matter which one. This inherently already has trample, so I'm going to give that guy the counter. Draw a card. Ooh, nifty. We got rune speed. But we cannot play at this turn. Nice. We have rune speed. That's nice. Okay. We will keep that on top. That's 2 cantrips. We also have Lair of the Hydra to kind of close things out. Yeah, both of our guys have trample now. Iganjo very much is a factor here, because if they just, no matter how they block, they need to have just clean, straight removal, whether it was Iganjo themselves or another Touch the Spirit Realm, which is, the deck only runs 2 of these cards. It's crazy our opponent already had it in their hand. Are we, like, I guess we got it, yeah. I guess they're crunching numbers, or maybe they must have been like mana screwed, but wow, look at that, the power of the deck. Even without like the most optimal like curve, we almost had it. We had the 1 drop, we had the 2 drop in Jukai Naturalist, and then we didn't get the rune guy, but we were able to slap some runes, and we just dealt enough pressure. We didn't need to have the best curve to still give our opponent a hard time. That life swing right there absolutely mattered a lot. Because we would have been down a lot more otherwise. Alright, so claim our prize. Claim our prize. Another exponential growth. Okay. I do not want more of those cards. It would be nice to get like a mascot exhibition. This deck is sweet. I'm glad I actually decided to play it. I was a little skeptical at first because aura-based strategies can tend to be a little fragile. Then again, we are playing the mirrors, which, oh jeez, this is a weird hand. The nice thing about the runes is that you don't need to slap it onto a creature. You can just slap it onto a land if necessary, but that is not ideal. I think we got a mulligan this one. Yeah, this is not proactive at all. We don't have a creature. We have the mulligan. Oof, that's weird. We'll keep this. This is better hand though, because we at least have a 1-drop to start with. Okay. A generous visitor. Wow, is everyone just playing this deck? Everyone's just playing this deck, huh? Okay. This is a problem because we don't really have any follow-up for this. We need to oh no, we don't have our white mana. That's not good. Ooh, this is awkward, 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 awkward. I'm gonna try for a Jukai Naturalist here, and I'm gonna go and play out this guy, play Communed Spirits, try to dig for a land. Okay, we found a land. That's good. What if I just attack? Don't take it. They're not gonna block. Yeah, see, like I said, they're not gonna block. The same reason we're not gonna block, because if they have a follow-up, we're just not gonna, we'll lose that trade right there. We are falling behind right now, which is which does stink. Unfortunately, none of our cards are green to take advantage of Jukai Naturalist. Definitely could use another white source. Or the Rune guy. Rune guy would really make things awesome. If they have the Touch the Spirit Realm, man, I think each of our opponents had Touch the Spirit Realm. Okay, oh no! Actually, no, they don't have the Jukai Naturalist, so that's fine. Rune of Sustenance is honestly probably one of the best cards in the deck. There we go. That's what we're talking about. Runeforge Champion right here. You may pay 1 rather than that. Yep. Alright, here we go. Alright, here we go. Okay, so we have 2 Rune Sustenances, so that much is certain. Nobody has Trample, right? So we can slap the lifelinks on the Runeforge Champion and the Generous Visitor, and then we want to put the hasty thing on probably Runeforge Champion. Yeah, so let's get Rune Speed. Let's do the obvious things. Put Rune Speed. Target permanent. This guy. Put a counter. I'm gonna put a counter on Jukai Naturalist. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're going to town with this. Let's see. Slap on the Runeforge Champion. Put this counter on. It really doesn't matter. Here. Let's spread out the love. Okay. Hasty lifelink. Let's put Trample over here. Oh, yep, our opponent just concedes. I wanted to see how that would play out, though. Wow. Despite getting a little... Well, despite stumbling on our mana a bit early on, we were able to still pull it off. It's because Runeforge Champion just glues the whole strategy together. Of course, Jukai Naturalist needs to be on the board too, but yeah, so we would have made this a 5/5, draw another card, play Rune of Sustenance. Yeah, play Rune of Sustenance, slap it onto like Generous Visitor, put the counter on Jukai Naturalist again, make it a 6/6. So our opponent could stop like 3 damage at least, or yeah, they could stop 3 damage, but then they'll have to deal 9 points of damage. They could have survived that. I could have fizzled out. I was getting 2 draws at, but still, it's a possibility that I would have just fizzled like our first opponent did several times actually. So it's possible to survive this. You shouldn't. I won't say you should concede to this. It's an uphill battle from there. But you have answers like Touch the Spirit Realm, and if your opponent's creatures are weak and small enough, you can use Iganjo as well. Alright, well, that was pretty awesome. We won 3 games in a row. It's the first time I think we've done that in a while. This deck is legit, and clearly everyone else wants to play with the deck. What's this? Is this like a sleeve or something? Huh. Okay, well, I'll put that. I'll go through the card by card here for everybody real quick. I'll put the deck list in the description as well. So we have 4 Community of the Spirits. This is our like sort of like our equivalent of, what's that card called? Ancient Stirrings? Yeah, so basically we get to search for either an enchantment or land, and then put it into our hand. I think I'd like to ideally find, what was it? where is it? Jukai Naturalist. Jukai Naturalist is an enchantment, and late game you can try to dig deeper to find Showdown of Skulls to you know, dig even more for more cards. So that's pretty sweet. But early on, you use it to try to, like, you know, fix your mana, like I did in the last game just now. Ideally, though, your turn 1 play is Generous Visitor, and then you do it in turn 2. Jukai Naturalist makes all your enchantments cost 1 less. Turn 3, Runeforge Champion. If these are left unchecked, if you have, you're guaranteed 1 rune at least with Runeforge Champion, and then bam, you can go to town. You can start just chaining a bunch of runes, and there's of course 12 runes I think in the deck in total. So it's possible. It is possible to like go through at least like 3 or 4 in one turn, and just the amount of card advantage you get, the explosive firepower, because you also get counters each time you cast an enchantment spell. And some of these get buffs too, like Rune Speed gives a +1/+0 and haste boost, so you can make your Runeforge Champion haste immediately. I think that's like the go-to one right there if you want to like punch in early. And Rune Sustenance is honestly a really good one in any like the mirror matches or like aggro matches. It makes it really hard for your opponent to, like, you know, make a comeback to try to like win the damage race. Comedy Transit is pretty neat as well. Kind of does a similar thing with Community Spirits, except that it can only put the counter on himself. But what's nice is that not only has trample, so you don't have to worry about, you know, your opponent jump blocking it, but whenever an enchantment is put into a graveyard from the battlefield this turn, you can return it from your graveyard to your hand. So it's nice to like be able to like recycle your creatures a little bit here, because that's like the downside of some of these aura-based strategies, that if your opponent, they're not good if you don't have creatures. That's why I tossed away my opening hand in the third games, because it was all auras, or what was rather, it was no creatures whatsoever, and we need at least to have 1 creature to get going. We did find that. We found the Generous Visitor, and we got going. However, that is also bad, because if you, again, any removal, and we're going to be pretty sad if your opponent times it correctly or counterspell. But this deck has so much firepower, and pretty high ceiling, really. If you get the absolute nuts of nuts, like if you find all of your runes, you can just win that turn. Like, that's just the amazing power of this deck, is what I can see here. Rune of Sustenance is the one that gives lifelink, and Rune of Speed gives the one that gives haste and +1/+0. Rune of Might is the one that gets +1/+1 and trample. They all let you draw a card. They all cost 2 mana each, and you can enchant a permanent, so you don't have to slap it onto your own creature. If you don't have a creature, you can slap it onto a land. I considered it for a moment in game 3 when I had that land full of runes, but I was like, no, that's pretty bad. Like, and I made the right call, because we would have lost the tempo race in such a mirror match right there, not having creatures early on. Yeah, so let's see. I explained these cards right here, and Jukai Naturalist makes them cost 1 less. And let's see, Runeforge Champion says you may pay 1 rather than pay the mana cost of rune spells you cast. So basically, effectively, as you saw, runes are free with these 2 guys out, and that's just insane. The amount, this combo right here. And lifelink, again, that lifelink really matters. And in fact, this enchantment creature also matters too. Like I said, you can grab it with Community Spirits, and like I did in game 1, I blew up my opponent's Jukai Naturalist with Boseiju. I just never really found the right time to like play this. I just wasn't sure what to use it on, but I'm glad I used it the way I did. And yeah, like, it's crazy. I think I saw both Boseiju and Iganju in games 1 and 2 in like my opening hand, so that's kind of funny. They're 1-ofs in the deck. You can play more of them if you want. Lair of the Hydra, I don't know if I want Lair of the Hydra in the deck really, or if I want like another land. Maybe like the one that creates a goblin token. Being able to spread out your damage is pretty nice, although going pretty huge and tall, like with Lair of the Hydra. Oh, I know. Actually, this is pretty neat. So remember what I said about how runes can enchant permanents? You can enchant your man lands here, right? Like Lair of the Hydra, and then they will get the buffs, they will get the effects like lifelink, haste, or well, more importantly, lifelink and trample, and they get the +1/+1 from that too. So that's actually pretty neat, being able to slap a rune of the Might onto Lair of the Hydra. That's a pretty neat line right there, if it ever comes up. Yeah, it's really cool that these auras can be dead, because sometimes oftentimes they say enchant creature, but in this case they say enchant permanent. So that's pretty cool. You don't get to see the part where like the equipment that enchants gets an effect because there's no equipments in this deck, but that's okay. Touch the Spirit Realm is banishing, like basically it just only hits artifacts or creatures, but you can also channel it to blink any artifact or creature. It's like a delayed flicker effect, though. It does come back at the beginning of the next end step, so you can use it as like pseudo removal. Get rid of your opponent's creature if you need to get rid of it instantly, or instant speed at least, or you want to protect your own creature, or you just want to use this for its removal effect. Get rid of a threat permanently. I say quote unquote, because you could still remove it. Like I was considering using Procedure on, but the thing they removed the Procedure, it would come back to the 2/2, and it wasn't really important. But hitting near Jukai Naturalist is way more important. Showdown on Scalds is incredible in this deck. It's not something you play like early on. It is incredible when you curve from Generous Visitor into the Jukai Naturalist into Runeforge Champion. By that point, your opponent is probably really behind anyway. They probably might scoop if they don't have answers. But Showdown of Skulls probably will seal the deal, especially if you get like 1 or 2 runes off of that. And that's it. That's the deck right there. You got all these lands right here, and you got Besiege Endures, and Iganjo. I swear, these Kamigawa lands are incredible. They are the fact that they come into play untapped, and they have pretty cool effects, and it can cost less too if you control legendary creatures, which can come up, especially in formats like Commander. So yeah, this is the deck, Naya Runes, and it was pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie, I did very much enjoy this deck. It seems pretty budget friendly too. There's no mythics, right? Yeah, there's no mythics. This is a common, uncommon, rare. So we got 3 rares. Uncommon, rare, so that's 7 rares. Uncommon, rare, so that's 11. So really, the investment into this deck, it's very low investment, honestly. It's 11 rares with just the spells themselves. Of course, if you look into lands, of course, it's going to be more expensive, right? You're looking at like play sets of the pathways and all this and that. But if you have them, then because they're good staple cards to have for any other strategy, then you have them. But lands are easy to kind of like maneuver. You can throw in more basics. It won't make your deck as consistent, but what's more important is the spells themselves at the moment. For the deck to actually operate, right? Lands you can make do with like just basics, or like some other like budget dual lands. You really want to make sure your lands come to play untapped though, so avoid playing any lands that come to play tapped. That's why I'm like iffy about Forsaken Crossroads. If like you're playing a best 2 of 3, I feel like I'd rather have this in the sideboard, and then if I'm going first, then I would play this. I don't know. Maybe it stays in the main board. But yeah, honestly, I might consider crafting this deck myself, just because of how just low budget, high power ceiling. Like, this is, I think, a pretty awesome deck right here for anyone who doesn't want to spend too many like wild cards on stuff, while still playing a pretty fun and pretty easy to understand deck for the most part. There's a few little neat interactions here and there, but yeah, this is pretty neat. It's like a combo. It's like Boggle's combo deck, except we don't have anything that's hexproof. You just hope that your creatures stick on the board. Or if you're just able to like explode fast enough with Runeforge Champion. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope that was helpful. I'm sure there's plenty of other guides out there about Naya Runes, but this is going to be just one of many out there. But I'm definitely an advocate of this deck. This is pretty awesome. Alright, see you guys later.